If your check engine light is on and you have pulled the code P008F, do not ignore it because this issue messes with your fuel economy and engine performance directly. This code stands for Engine Coolant Temperature and Fuel Temperature Correlation, and simply put, it means your vehicle computer, known as the PCM, has noticed that the coolant temperature and the fuel temperature sensors are reporting values that do not make sense together, especially when the engine has been sitting and is at ambient temperature. Under normal conditions, when you start a cold car, the coolant and the fuel should be roughly the same temperature. But if one sensor says it is freezing and the other says it is hot, the computer gets confused and triggers this code, which can happen on vehicles from Ford to Chevy or Mercedes-Benz. The most common symptoms you are going to notice include a drop in gas mileage, the engine running roughly, or seeing black smoke from the tailpipe, which means the engine is running too rich. The causes are usually a bad coolant temperature sensor, a bad fuel temperature sensor, or damaged wiring connecting them to the computer. To fix this, you need to start with a cold engine, so let the car sit overnight. First, check your coolant level and make sure the engine is not overheating. If that is good, pop the hood and inspect the wiring connectors for these sensors, looking for any breaks or corrosion. You will need a multimeter and a scan tool for the next part. Connect your scan tool and look at the temperature values for both sensors with the key on but the engine off. They should be within a few degrees of each other and match the outside air temperature. If one is way off, use an infrared thermometer to measure the actual temperature of the sensor housing to see if the sensor is lying. If the sensor reading on the scanner does not match the physical temperature you measured, you likely have a failed sensor or a wiring issue. Use your multimeter set to ohms to check the resistance of the sensor and compare it to the manufacturer's specifications found in a repair manual. If the sensor tests fine, check for 5 volts and a good ground at the connector. Once you identify the bad sensor, replace it, clear the codes, and drive the vehicle to verify the fix. If you are uncomfortable working with electrical multimeters or fuel systems, take this to a professional mechanic immediately to avoid damaging your catalytic converter. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next guide.